Hello students. In this video we will learn about the graphical method under the course of Operation Research. So here we are taking one example of linear programming problem and we are going to solve this using the graphical method. Our objective function is to maximize z, which is equal to 80x1 plus 120x2, and it is subjected to x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 9, 20x1 plus 50x2 less than or equal to 360, x1 is greater than or equal to 2 and x2 is greater than or equal to 3. Our both the variables x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. Now moving towards the graphical method, our first step is to remove the inequalities. So here you can see that in our four constraint we are having the less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. These two are the inequalities. So our first task is to remove these inequalities. So we are modifying our first equation as x1 plus x2, that is equal to 9. In place of less than or equal to, we are mentioning equal to sign. Same way for the second equation, we are little bit modifying the equation. We are dividing the equation both the sides by 10 and we are writing the equations as a 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36, which is same as 20x1 plus 50x2, that is equal to 360. Our third constraint, that is x1 is greater than or equal to 2. So in place of the greater than or equal to, again we are writing equal to. So our third constraint become x1 equals to 2. And same way our fourth constraint become x2 equal to 3. So now we are having the four equations and these equations are representation of line on a graph. So our next step is to find out the points which will be on these lines, and by joining these points we will have the graph. So first we are taking our first constraint, that is x1 plus x2, that is equal to 9. So when we are looking for the points on this line, so first we will assume x1 equals to 0. So once I will put x1 equals to 0, I will get x2 equals to 9. So my first point will be 0, 9. In a second point, I am putting x2 equals to 0. So I am getting x1 equals to 9. So my second point will be 9, 0. So these are the coordinates of x1 and x2, 0, 9 and 9, 0. Same way, I am taking my second constraint. The equation is 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36. Firstly, I put the x1 equals to 0. So when I am putting x1 equals to 0, I will get x2 is equal to 36 upon 5. In the second point, I will put x2 equals to 0 so that I will have x1 equals to 80. Now the reason behind putting x1 and x2 1 by 1, 0, 0 is we are having the points which will be on the x-axis and y-axis. So within the quadrant, we are having the extreme points. Because we are having x1, x2 both greater than or equal to 0, so it is very clear that we are only working on a first quadrant. So when we are working on a first quadrant, if we are putting one time x1 equals to 0 and second time x2 equals to 0, so we will have the points on the axis, on a particular axis, x-axis and y-axis. Let's back to our third constraint. In third constraint, it is mentioned that x1 value is fixed. So once my x1 value that is fixed and that fixed value is 2, so x1 is equal to 2. So we can say that we are having the vertical line because our x value is fixed. So I am just taking the two random points. The first one is 2, 0 and second point is 2, 10, so that I can build the line. Same way, when I am taking the x2 equals to 3, so x2 will be on a y-axis. If I am putting the y-axis as a constant, so x2, the value is 3 as a constant, I will have the horizontal line. So I am just taking the two random points, that is 0, 3 and 10, 3. So here the x2 is constant, here x1 is constant, here we are having the constraint that is first and second. So these are the 8 points, and between the first and second point we will have the first line. Our third and fourth point will have the second constraint. Same way, these 2 points will represent the third constraint and these 2 points will represent the fourth constraint. Now we are going to make the graph of these 4 different constraints. So now here you can see that we are having the constraint that is x1 plus x2 that is equal to 9. The original constraint is less than or equal to 9. Same way our second, third and fourth constraint is written here. Whatever the points we have found, that is A point, B point, C, D up to H. So we have just given the name that is from A to H and the coordinates are written here. Now our first task is to make the axis. So we are making the 2 axes. So these are my 2 axes and certain points, and I am mentioning the numbers. So here we are having the numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8. So we can say that we have taken the scale of 1 centimeter is equal to 2 units. So every centimeter it is representing 2 units of x1 or 2 units of x2. Now I am mentioning my first constraint. So here you can see that our first point is 0, 9. So here somewhere my first point will be 0, 9. This is a point A. My second point, that is B point, that is 9, 0. If I am joining these 2 points and I am extending it, so I can say that this is the line of x1 plus x2 that is equal to 9. But my original constraint is x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 9. So I need to mention the region less than or equal to. So here you can say that this shaded region that is representing x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 9. If it is mentioned that greater than or equal to, then this side of region will be came in the solution. But right now it is less than or equal to, so we can say that the left hand side portion will be the solution. Okay, I am not mentioning other 3 quadrant. The reason is my x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. Now let's move to the second constraint. So in second constraint, my C point is 0, 36 upon 5. So 36 upon 5, that is 7 point something. So this is the value of 36.5. So 0, 36 divided by 5, that is a C point that is mentioned here. And my D point is 18, 0. So on a x1 axis, the point 18, if I am joining this point C and D, so I will have the one line, and this line is representing 2x1 plus 5x2 that is equal to 36. But again, this constraint is not about the equal to 36. Originally this constraint is about less than or equal to 360. So I need to mention the region, and here also we are having the region that is below the line. So this is going to be my region for the second constraint. So what about the common region between the first and second constraint? Because until now we have just gone to the first and second constraint. So here you can see that this is the common region from here to this. So this is my common region between first and second constraint. This region satisfied both the first and second constraint. Now we are moving towards the third constraint. Third constraint says that my x1 value is 2, which is fixed. So I am taking 2 points 2, 0 and 2, 10 like this. So this is my point E 2, 0 and my point F 2, 10. So here you can see that both the points, they can have the single line, and this line is representing x1 equals to 2. But also it is not a right constraint. My right constraint is x1 greater than or equal to 2. So when it is x1 greater than or equal to 2, so I need to mention the region, and now this region will be the right hand side region because it is more than 2. So the common region from all 3 constraints will be this. At last I'm mentioning my fourth constraint, and that is g point 0 comma 3 and h point 10 comma 3. When I'm joining these 2 points, I am having the line that is equal to x2 equals to 3. But this x2 equals to 3 is not a right constraint. The right constraint is it should be more than 3. So the above region will be my answer. So my final region, that will be something like this. This black color will be the final region that satisfied by the all constraint. So whatever the point on this region, that will be satisfying by the all 4 constraint. Now I am just mentioning this region in a very zoom way. So I am just magnifying the region. So I am having something like this region, and if you are talking about the points, so we are having point number 1, point number 2, point number 3 and point number 4. So these are the 4 points, and these are the corner points of my feasible region. So this region is called as a feasible region. These points are called as a corner points. Also in some books it is written as a vertex points. So these are the 4 points, and these are representing my feasible region. Okay, when I'm talking about the point number 1, so you can see that this point number 1, it is on this line. So the line of 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36, and it is on this vertical line that is representing x1 equals to 2. So this point number 1 is on a 2 lines, that is your second constraint line and third constraint line. Same way, when I'm talking about the point number 2, so my point number 2, that will be on a x1 plus x2, that is equal to 9. So this is x1. So this is x1 plus x2, that is equal to 9 line. And the second line, that is of 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36. So my first and second constraint. So this point is on first and second constraint line. Same way, if I am talking about my third line, so you can see here, you can see that my third line having the x1 equals to 2 and x2 equals to 3 constraint. Now when I am talking about the fourth point, so my fourth point, there is somewhere here. So my fourth point having the x2 equals to 3 and x1 plus x2 equals to 9. So my fourth point is somewhere here. So it is on this line x2 equals to 3, and it is on this line x1 plus x2 equals to 9. So these are the 4 points, and we can solve these equations to get the coordinates of the first, second, third and fourth point. So now we are having the 4 corner points and 1 feasible region. So here we can say that in graphical method, our solution always lies on the corner points. So once I will have the corner points and their coordinates, I can calculate the value of z, and I can conclude that whatever the maximum value that I am achieving, that is coming from this first, second, third or a fourth point. So first I am finding out the coordinates of the first point. So to get the coordinates of the first point, first I need to understand that my point number 1 is on the line 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36, and x1 equals to 2. So these are the 2 different lines and their equations. If I want to calculate the coordinates of the point 1, then I need to put the value of x1 equal to 2 in the equation of 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36. When I am putting x1 equals to 2 here, so it will become 5x2, that is equal to 36 minus 4. The answer will be 32. So the x2 equals to 32 upon 5 and x1 equals to 2. These are the coordinates of my first point, that is point number 1. So this is how I am having the first point and their coordinates. Now I am moving towards the solving the second point. So if I am solving the x1 plus x2, that is equal to 9, and 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36, then I will have the coordinates of the point number 2. So for that purpose, what I am doing, I am multiplying the first equation by 2. So I will have 2x1 plus 2x2, that is equal to 18, and I am writing second equation as it is, that 2x1 plus 5x2, that is equal to 36. When I am having the subtraction of these two equation, I will get 2x1 minus 2x1, that is 0, 5x2 minus 2x2, that is 3x2, and 36 minus 18, that is equal to 18. So I will have x2 is equal to 6. When I am putting x2 equals to 6 in this equation, then it will become x1 plus 6, that is equal to 9, and value of x1, that is equal to 3. So here I am having the point number 2 and the coordinates are 3, 6. So I am putting this point here. Now we are moving towards the point number 3. By point number 3, the x1 equals to 2 and x2 equals to 3. These coordinates are fixed. So here we can say that my point number 3 having the coordinates 2, 3, and we are putting them again here. Now we are moving towards the point number 4. So we can say that my point number 4 is on two lines, that is x1 plus x2, that is equal to 9, and x2 equals to 3. So by solving these two equations, I can have x1 plus 3, that is equal to 9, x1 equals to 6. So my coordinates of the point 4, that are 6, 3. So here we are having the 4 points and their coordinates as 2, 32 upon 5, 3, 6, 2, 3, and 6, 3. So now here we are mentioning our corner points, that is first, second, third and fourth point, their coordinates x1 and x2 coordinates, and I am mentioning the value of z here. So here you can say that our z function, that is equal to 80 times x1 plus 120 times x2. So I am just mentioning 2 and 32 upon 5, that is as a x1 and x2, and I am finding the value that is equal to 928. Same way, when I am putting the 3, 6 in the equation of z, I am getting the value that is 960. If I am putting x1 and x2 as a 2, 3, I am having the value that is 520. And for the fourth point, when I am finding the x1 and x2, that is 6 and 3, I am having the value of z, that is equal to 840. So here you can say that I am getting the maximum value for this second point, and that is 960. So we are having the solution, and that solution is the value of x1, that is equal to 3, value of x2, that is equal to 6, and we are having the maximum value of z, that is equal to 960. So this is how we are finding the solution using the graphical method. Thank you students for watching this video. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe my video and share with your friends so that they can get the benefit of the learning of a graphical method. I will take the new video on the topic of minimization using the simplex method. Thank you students once again.